Five precepts. Five precepts of the Buddha's teaching. Number 1, no killing. Number 2, no stealing. Number 3, no sexual misconduct. Number 4, no lying. Number 5, no alcohol. Let's continue the academic reading about Elliot wave theory. Let's get started. Alternation. Alternation. The guideline of alternation is very broad, 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 broad. In its application and warns, the analyst always to expect a difference in the next expression of a similar wave. How Hamilton Bolton said, the writer is not convinced that alternation is inevitable in types of webs in larger formations, but there are frequent enough cases to suggest that one should look for it rather than the contrary. Although alternation does not say precisely what is going to happen, it gives valuable notice. It gives valuable notice of what not to expect, and is therefore useful to keep in mind when analyzing wave formations and accessing future possibility. It permanently instructs the analyst not to assume, as most people tend to do, that because the last market cycle behaved in a certain manner, this one is sure to be the same as contrarians never cease to point out the day that most investors catch on to an apparent habit of the market is the day it will change to one completely different. However, Elliot went further in stating that, in fact, alternation was virtually a law of markets. Alternation within impulses. If Web 2 of an impulse is a sharp correction, expect Web 4 to be a sideways sharp. If Web 2 of an impulse is a sharp correction, expect web 4 to be a sideways correction. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If 2 is an impulse, web 2 of an impulse is a chart. Web 2 chart the correction, then expect web 4 to be sideways correction, and vice versa. Figure 2-1 shows the most characteristic breakdowns of impulse webs, both up and down, as suggested by the guideline of alternation. Sharp corrections never include a new price extreme. In other words, one that lies beyond the orthodox end of the preceding impulse web. They are almost always zigzags, single, double, or triple. Occasionally, there are double threes that begin with a zigzag. Sideways corrections include flats, triangles, and double and triple corrections. They usually include a new price extreme. In other words, one that lies beyond the orthodox end of the preceding impulse web. In rare cases, a regular triangle, one that does not include a new price extreme. In the fourth web position, we'll take the place of sharp correction and alternate with another type of sideways pattern. In second web position, the idea of alternation between impulses can be summarized by saying that one of two correction processes will contain a move back to or beyond the end of preceding impulse, and the other will not. Bull, sharp, bull market. Sharp means web 2, web 1, right, 2, sharp, sharp. So expect web 4 sideways. Expect that web 4 should be sideways. Sideways and sharp. Web 2 sideways, web 4 sharp. In other words, downtrend, bear movement, right? Web 2 sharp, web 4 sideways expectation. Web 2 sideways, web 4 sharp. Here, sharp sideways, continue bull run. Sideways sharp, continue bull run. Sharp, then sideways, continue bear run. Sideways, then sharp, continue bear run. Diagonal triangles do not display alternation between subwebs 2 and 4. Typically, they are both zigzags. Extensions are an expression of alternation as the motive verbs alternate their length. Typically, the first is short, the third is extended. The first is short, the third is extended, and the fifth is short again. Diagonal, short again. Extension, which normally occur in Web 3, sometimes occur in Web 1 or 5. Another manifestation of alternation. Here, let's take into understand about to make understand to understand. Typically, the both extension are expressed in the third verb is short, right? The first verb is short, the third extend. The third extend. The fifth short again. Third is short, third is extend, and fifth short again. Extension which normally occur in verb 3. Extension normally occur in verb 3. Sometimes occur in verb 1 or 5. Extension normally occur in verb 3. Alternation with correction verbs. If a large correction begins with the verb ABC, construction for verb A capital. Expect a zigzag ABC formation of verb B, see figure 2-2, and vice versa, see figure 2-3. With a moment start, it is obvious that this occurring insensible since the first illustration reflects an upward bias in both subverbs, while the second reflects downward bias. On to page number 33. Thank you so much for learning. Thank you so much for learning together. Have a good night.